What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 5 of Let's Talk Nerdy podcast. And today we have a spooky one for you. And we are going to be talking about Outlast Trials, Boogeyman's new movie, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, and the new Haunted Mansion movie remake.
Dead I am the rat, feast upon the cat, tender is the fur, dying as you purr.
Meow. Nope. Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
You are now tuned in to the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast.
I love it when you talk nerdy to me.
Come on, bro. I kept it with the spooky theme. I went with a little Rob Zombie, a little Dragula.
Dragula. Nope. Not ringing any
No,
bells. Nothing
Not
in my brain.
ringing. No. Okay. Great. Awesome. So I'm just a boomer that listens to crap music. Okay. Other than that, how was your week, my dude?
My week was pretty good. Pretty good. So, this is my last week coming up with my current job. So we did a little get together, away weekend for me, sending me off. It almost sounds like I'm dying if I say it like that. But anyway, so we went to, yesterday we went to Monster Jam, Monster Trucks, and it was an experience that I probably won't ever do again.
No, why not?
Super loud, and it was kind of boring, to be honest. I think it was the
Really?
size. I think it was the size of the arena, so they couldn't do as much as the cool stuff. So there's no crushing cars. There's nothing
Man.
really exciting. The most exciting part of it was the Velociraptor is the name of the truck. It was the 2-wheel competition. He landed on 2 wheels, on the back 2 wheels, and he landed on the front 2 wheels, and then he flipped, and that was kind of cool.
Whoa.
But he was
yeah,
out
that's
for the
sick.
he was out for the rest of the competition. But
That
and
kind of
it's
sucks, dude.
100% rigged.
How
WWE
is
rigged.
How is it rigged?
Okay, so Gravedigger, the most popular
Yes,
monster
of
truck.
course.
She won the whole thing, by a landslide.
Wait, it's a she?
So there's multiple, so Gravedigger, I think it's owned by the family so a family owns the rights to Gravedigger, and so it's a dad, a daughter, a son, and I think an uncle or something like that. So it's owned by this family, and there's 4 truck drivers.
And they are the Hulk Hogan of the monster truck
Yep.
rally circuit, the undefeated.
Exactly.
Okay,
And so
all
this is she did so it was the semifinals of the race, so it was the 1v1, and she was gonna lose this race, and then all I see is it's the Raminator. He slowed way down, and she and she ended up winning.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Yeah. I just I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna change all of my PlayStation Network names to the Raminator. I hope that's available.
And then there's the other, so it's a Ram truck, Dodge Ram truck. The other
Yeah, I
Ram was
gotcha.
the Ramunation.
The Ramunation. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
and then so after that we it was a fun time. It was free tickets, so that's why we went. But after that we went to sing karaoke, so that was pretty fun.
Nice. Dude,
And
that's
then
I feel crappy that you had a bad time at the monster truck rally, dude. I remember that when I was a kid, they had such cool stuff. They had the demolition derby and the figure 8 track where they would go around the track and they'd run into each other and stuff like that. And then they had that monster truck crushing dinosaur where he'd pick up the car and put it in his mouth and breathe fire through it and throw it. And dude, those were sick.
I think you
What
said it
happened to all the cool stuff?
Well, put this in the front. You said when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's I'm an adult. I don't know. I never experienced that growing up. So, and we didn't take our son because it was last minute and we already had plans to go out. But yeah, we ended up doing karaoke after, so that was kind of fun.
Nice. What's your go-to karaoke song?
I don't know if I should say it on here.
It's Dua Lipa. We know it's Dua Lipa.
No, it's not. It's not. But I brought the house down. Everybody was cheering for me. It was crazy, and I can't.
What'd
sing.
you do?
I can't sing whatsoever. Lonely Island.
Yeah.
I Just Had Sex featuring Akon. If you want to bring the crowd into it in the karaoke bar, sing that song. I promise you.
I'm surprised you didn't go Dua Lipa, but also
I thought about it. I did think about it.
is there any video evidence of you doing I Just Had Sex by the Lonely Island Boys? Because I feel like that 1000% needs to be part of this podcast at some point.
I don't think there is. There probably is, actually. My friends had their phones out doing some Snapchat recordings, so probably somewhere. But
Okay.
and my second song, also like not as good as my first song choice, but Never Gonna Give You Up.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I always go with Don't Stop Believin'. A little Don't Stop Believin'.
That's a good one.
It's a pretty classic song. You can get everybody, even if you're not a good singer, you can kind of get everybody to join in with you and kind of carry the weight that's resting on your shoulders. So that's kind
how
of
it
my
was
go-to.
with Never Gonna Let You Go, or Never Gonna Give You Up. That's how I did. It's like I pointed the mic out and everybody started singing it. It was so funny. And
yeah, that's the way to do it.
I gotta give a shout out to my friend Blake, who he was rapping some Eminem. He did Without Me, and like Trailer Park Outside. He like the funniest part. Oh, he listens to the podcast, so he might not like this, but the best part, I think what he was doing for some of it that sounds more nasally. He was like squeezing his nose to like sound like Eminem. It was perfect. He did such a good job,
Dude. That's amazing.
Yeah, he did a great job. And my other friends, they sang Colt 45.
Let's go.
Yeah, so it was a good time.
Let's
and then
go.
today we ended the weekend with going out to eat, and we went golfing. But yeah, what'd you do this weekend?
My weekend was crazy. I'm gonna show you this.
Uh-oh.
I shaved my legs.
Why?
I shaved them, the whole thing. They're
Is
completely
it for
shaved.
fun, or is that gonna be your new thing? You just don't like hair on your legs anymore?
The Rangers lost to the Devils.
Oh, so it was a bet?
And thus I lost a bet.
Was it a
so
storm?
I would. I don't want to throw that out there.
Okay.
It might have been with our good buddy. It might not have been, but I just want to reach out to Mr. Mika and Mr. Patrick Kane and the rest of the New York Rangers organization and say, what the fuck, bro? Seriously, like, come on, man. So yeah, I had to shave my legs. I did lose a bet. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't hate it. It's kind of nice. Like, it's kind of. Have you ever shaved your legs?
No, but I have lost a bet similar.
It's kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. My bathtub looked like I murdered a teddy bear when I was done. But yeah, I'm liking it. Nice and smooth. You shaved your eyebrows. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah,
you had
I
to
did.
shave your eyebrows?
I lost
no.
a bet similar. It was who was gonna win the Super Bowl, Green Bay or Pittsburgh Steelers that year, and I bet on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I had to shave my eyebrows and dye my hair pink.
No.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
bad. It was so bad that my basketball coach like benched me for 2 weeks. He's like, you cannot play till your eyebrows start coming back.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So he made me film for 2 weeks so I could be like away from everybody because he didn't want people to see me with my no eyebrows. But
And
it was-
when you put the camera up to your eye, it kind of hides your non-eyebrow eye.
Exactly. I didn't go like when I went out. I had a hat on, like it's as far low as I possibly could.
Let's
I look like a
go.
weirdo, but
That's sick.
there is
yeah.
picture evidence of that, but I don't know if I'm ever gonna show that on this podcast.
We're gonna show it, guys. We're gonna show it on the podcast. Next episode, we're gonna bring that picture in so everybody can see it.
I don't think so.
If we get to 100 YouTube subscribers by the next episode, you show that picture.
All right, by the next episode, 100 subscribers by the next episode. Sure, I'll show
Okay.
this embarrassing picture.
All right, guys. Okay. If you are watching on the YouTube podcast or if you are watching on Spotify or listening anywhere, please jump over to the YouTube. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to leave that comment and tell your friends. We need to get to 100 subscribers in like 6 days. So please make it happen. I want to see that photo. I want to make it my phone background. Let's go. Let's go. I'm
make that
throwing
a
the
phone
challenge out
background.
there.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it.
Accepted.
Challenge accepted. If we get that photo, I'm making it the photo that shows up when you call me. So
Okay.
that's happening.
That sounds great. That's
That's amazing.
But
Well,
yeah,
all right,
so
man.
Let's dive into
Let's
it.
let's get right into it. We got a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah,
Let's start with Outlast, right? We're starting with Outlast Trials.
Outlast Trials.
Okay, you know how
All right,
this is
here we
gonna
go.
work.
Dave's gonna crap on the parade here.
You know how this is gonna work. So why don't you go first? Because you
No, no, no,
are
no, no, no.
super.
You're going first. You're going first.
I'm going first.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
all
want to hear
right.
it
We're
because
gonna start.
I want to fight it.
All right, we're gonna start out with some early disappointment. All right,
I
Outlast
could start it.
Trials.
I could start it. I
Yeah,
kind of
you
go into
start
what
it.
the game is. Kind of go what into the
Yes.
game is. I pull the trailer. So if anybody's played, it's a horror survival game. Based off, or it's a prequel to the original Outlast games. So Outlast 1 and 2, both very good like horror games. So if you like want to be scared, like Outlast is a game to play. It's pretty intense. There's some graphic stuff in there, so some things that you may not be for everybody, but it is a fun, good game. Outlast 2 had a lot more kind of culty, like religious kind of stuff into it. So
Yes,
but I like both of them very well, very much.
Specifically number 2, guys. If you
Yep.
are a little bit kind of, I don't want to say like queasy, or you're like uneasy at like very unsettling topics.
Yep.
Number 2 was not the game for you.
Yeah.
Even
The first
so
one-
much,
The first one
like when
wasn't
I
as
was
depth.
playing
Oh, go ahead.
it.
Sorry.
Even the first one, like the first one was great, and the second one I was playing it, and the storyline, even for me, and I can kind of handle like some pretty intense stuff. I was getting like very uneasy playing that, but it's still a great horror experience. But yeah, just be forewarned that if you're kind of a little easy on stuff, number 2 might not be for you.
Right. The first one, like Dave said, it's definitely not as heavy. A lot more jump scares I felt like were in the first one than the second one. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both very good. And this one is supposed to be a co-op game, co-op survival. Here, let me pull up the trailer really quick while we talk about
Yeah,
this
why
as
don't,
well.
why don't we pull up the trailer real quick? Yeah, so this one, Outlast Trials, the name kind of says it all. The basic premise of this is kind of like a DBD, kind of like a Phasmo kind of thing, where you will load into like a safe room, and then you'll load up with other online players. Excuse me, and you can kind of pick which trial you're going to do, and you load in together. So we'll take a look at this trailer real quick here. The trailer itself actually looks really good. It looks on par. It looks exactly what I would expect it to look like. Graphics wise, I don't like when is Outlast gonna like up the graphic level? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
That's
I thought the second one was pretty good.
I thought the second
But
one was
okay,
pretty
here's the thing.
good, but
You've been capped for so long on your PS5. Just you gotta go to the PC. But yeah, and I think the coolest thing of this game, so you get to work with the team, and it's kind of like a Squid Game, kind of Saw kind of feel to it, which I think is really cool. So there's different trials you have to complete, kind of push the storyline further, and I think that looks really cool. There's no fighting
and
mechanics. You can't kill anybody. You have to use kind of your perks and your mods to kind of distract some of the enemies and whatnot.
And this carnival setting that you guys are kind of seeing right now is like super terrifying to me. I don't know what it is about like the carnival-y kind of clownish kind of setting. I don't know if it's just one trial, but that's absolutely terrifying to me. I'm not excited for that trial.
Right.
So yeah,
And
the
honestly,
game.
like, so it looks brutal with some of the animations they have and just like the blood and stuff like that. It's pretty like intense, like blood and stuff.
Yeah, it's super intense. You can see like the there's disembodied limbs everywhere. You can kind of see like some very not good stuff. And this is kind of the opening right here. So I guess basically the premise is you're a homeless dude and you find this kind of flyer that says it's like, be part of our experiment and we're going to give you everything that you need kind of thing. And then all of a sudden you like wake up with a bag on your head and you're like, this is not what I signed up for. And then you kind of roll into
like
the
Squid
trials.
Games kind of deal.
Yeah, kind of like Squid Games. But yeah, so you're excited for this?
I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I think it's gonna be different. I think it's gonna be a bit different. You have to work together as a team. I think it's gonna be different to the point where I'll try it for a while and play it for a bit, but I don't know if it's a game that I'll play long term. But I think it's gonna be pretty cool. But now let's hear your negative thoughts.
Yeah, I'm gonna crap on the parade. So I'm gonna crap on the parade here. I don't think Red Barrel is the production team, right?
Red something. Red something.
Yeah, believe it's Red Barrel.
Yeah.
I think they forgot who they were. If we're gonna be 100% honest here. So Outlast #1, Outlast #2, amazing horror games, but
Right.
amazing single player experiences. And
Right.
I think that feeling of being alone when you're playing these games adds to the drama, adds to the suspense, and it's like if I load in with 4 other people, am I going to have that same kind of experience? Am I going to have that same kind of feel of like, is it still going to be scary?
Right. I think
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
I think it can and cannot be. I think it's going to depend on the group you're with. Like if say it's your friends and like you guys are just making a game like a joke out of it. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? I think it depends on who you're going to be playing the game with and like if you guys take it. I guess I don't want to say seriously because it's a game, but like if you're in like trying to get engulfed into the game, which I think so to your point, like with the games like in the hub where you guys can, like you can arm wrestle, you can customize your prison cell. I think that kind of takes away from the horror aspect of the game. But I think
Yes.
there's going to be, if they do it right, it's going to be a lot of like, there should be a lot of jump scares for everybody at the same time, which should be kind of cool. But I kind of see where you're going with that. Because like you said, you're engulfed in the game. You have your room dark. You're not talking to anybody. And then like there's jump scares. But like, I don't know.
Right.
I think it could, I see where you're going with that for sure.
I mean, that's 100% what I personally love about the game, and I think what most people love about the game is just that single player linear experience. The tension is always high, and I just think you lose a lot of that. You're gonna lose a lot of that feel, and I just don't think this game, especially for players of Outlast 1 and 2, are gonna jump over to this 4-player multiplayer model and be totally happy with it. Because here's the thing, right? Once again, Red Barrel is kind of forgetting who they are. This isn't like a COD. This isn't like a DBD. Like Outlast has a following, but it doesn't have a gigantic following.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still kind of an indie title, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I see this being a game where it's like, okay, people are going to be loading in for like the first couple weeks, and then like exactly what you said, you'll play it for a while and then you'll get sick of it and then you probably won't play it anymore. What
Right.
happens like 3 months in when you're literally just sitting in a lobby waiting for people to spawn in and nobody's playing this game anymore, so you load in as a single player anyway, but you have no single player experience. It's no longer a single player experience. You're still playing a multiplayer experience alone, which I'm not I'm not excited. I'm kind of disappointed. I was looking for like an Outlast 3 to like continue the trend, and we're not getting that.
And I think part of it, kind of going to your point, is like with like they're getting away from who they are by adding like the different perks and mods too. So it's
Yes.
I think in how I've said in the past, I love linear games. I think they make the story kind of flow in my brain a little bit better. And when there's all this extra stuff and you have to go to the hub and you have to find the stuff that's going to work for this specific trial, you got to bring those friends in. I can kind of see where you're going with that, especially with the Outlast, the fan base, like you said, that could deter them and be like, I'll play this for a couple weeks as long as my friends play. And then adding the customize your character, again, takes away kind of from that horror aspect of the game. I was actually really excited about it, but now that the way you talked about it, kind of like brought, like, I'm not saying like it's a bad thing, but like it made me kind of realize like, yeah, that does make sense. But
it just kind of just lets the air out of the balloon. You know what I'm saying? And like, as a player, actually, we did find some examples of us playing this game. Do we have those? Let's cue those up, because I think if you guys see the experience that we had actually playing this as a single player, you might understand just a little bit more where we're coming from if you've never played this game before and why it seems like we're kind of disappointed about this. At least I was disappointed from the beginning, and now Adam
changed me.
I've now changed. No, I've now changed his ways. But yeah, let's watch a couple of these clips. And again, guys, like these are single player stories, but like we said, me and Adam both do stream, so we have we are playing these together with our friends.
Okay.
But like, Let's
You can
check
see-
this door. Maybe this door also opens.
What in the fuck?
Okay. I might not be the best. I might not be the best example because I do get a little scared. I get a little scared when I play
Very
these games.
jumpy. Very jumpy.
Very jumpy. I'm a very jumpy kind of guy. But you can see the experience that we're having. I mean, look at it's so dark. It's so like that scared me. Watching the clip just scared me.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it's like it's such a different experience to be so entrenched in this world, and like everything that I loved about that experience is now gone. I love this clip so much. I love this clip so much. This was Adam playing. You could see, like, okay, we get a little jumpy. We get a little jumpy, but I think we get some jumps, but I think like
This one's wet.
I think this is the experience that people want. Like, look at that, dude. Like, look at that.
Right.
Yeah, and that, you're running for your life. I think one of the things that makes this game really, really, really scary is the fact that you don't really have any way to defend yourself.
Right.
Like we said, there's no fighting. You can't do any type of combat. It's literally just stealth, sneak, run away, and I think that builds to the tension. But you guys can see in those clips we were really scared, but we were also having like a lot of fun. Like, we were really having fun playing those games, and I think getting rid of that single player experience just kills the entire thing for me, and I'm super disappointed. I really wish they would just do like an Outlast 3 and just kind of continue on, like maybe not make the story so crazy and screwed up as number 2. Like maybe we can ease that back a little bit, but I still want that same experience, and I think players of the series, they're going to want that experience and they're not going to get it. And I just don't know what their kind of thought process is. It's like they're almost thinking they're like bigger than they actually are. Like we said, this is not a DVD. This is not a COD. This is not a Phasmo. This is not a game that's going to blow up and suddenly, everybody's going to play. And I could eat my words on this, but I'm thinking this is not a game that's going to suddenly blow up and there's suddenly going to be thousands upon thousands of Outlast players that are just loading in all the time. It's still going to be a core group, and it's still going to be a smaller group, and you just alienated that small group into even a smaller section of people that are interested in this game.
I will say one thing though is I think maybe they're trying to dive into a little bit something that has more playability, because once you play Outlast, like, I don't know about you, but I've only played Outlast 2 once. Like, I've never gone back and played this game. Whereas something like this, like, you're trying to upgrade your character, customize your character with new loot and stuff. But also, like, maybe they are trying to dive into the Phasmophobia player base, because that's where, like, games are going. They're like, maybe we can kind of get into that realm of type of player and try to bring some of those players into this like space of Outlast Trials. I think maybe that's what their thought process is. Like, let's try to expand our player base by diving into a game similar to Phasmophobia and those games like that.
And I understand the thought process, but also, like, and without trying to sound like an asshole, like, I wish them the best of luck. Because I just don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening, especially because those types of players are usually very game committed, right? So, like, if Outlast thinks it's gonna take like a chunk of Phasmo players and convert them from Phasmo over to Outlast, and same thing with like DVD, and like, I just don't think that many people are going to jump over to make it worth it, and I don't think that their current fan base is going to enjoy this experience enough to make it successful. So I mean, like I said, I could eat my words. I really could eat my words here, and like this could be the next like DVD part 2. But I just don't really.
I don't think this is a game that you can kind of compare to Dead by Daylight, though. I think because this is a lot of like. Go ahead.
I think it's 100% a game.
No, I think it's trying to tackle more of the Phasmophobia group. I think the game that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's more the game that's going to target the Dead by Daylight people. I think this is really trying to target that Phasmophobia group, because this is PvE. Like they're not fighting each other in this game, whereas the other game, or like Dead by Daylight, that's the game that is PvP, like asymmetrical team-based gameplay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think they're not trying to compete with Dead by Daylight. I don't think so. Let us know in the comments. Who's right?
Yeah,
let
us know. Let us know in the comments because I really do think they are. But like I said, I think this is a game that we're gonna have to kind of like to really get a good sense of it. We're probably gonna have to follow up on this game after release and kind of see where it goes.
May 18th. This game comes out May 18th. Yeah.
May 18th is the early access, so I forget when it actually drops, but
I'm not sure. And it's only on PC to start too.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. We'll have to come back to it and see. And they did announce that there's going to be some type of cross platforming, so it should be available on consoles. But
I think
definitely
once the
PC
full
to
release
start.
comes out, I bet it will be on the consoles as well. But I don't know, man. I'm optimistic. Like like I said, I like the Outlast games. I think this would be a fun horror game to play. And man, if you can get scared with your friends, even if it's a few times, and just have those experiences with your friends where you're all screaming into the microphone at once and blowing each other's eardrums out, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I think it could be fun for a while. I don't think it's a game that it's gonna hold a player base for a very long time. Especially, I don't think it beats Phasmophobia, and it definitely doesn't beat Dead by Daylight, even though that's not the target audience.
Yeah. Well, we will see. Again, I think it's a game that we're gonna have to come back to. If anybody from Red Barrel is watching, please give us Outlast 3. A linear single player experience, because I had a lot of fun playing those games, and we will see. Last thing though, before we jump off of Outlast Trials here, dude, what is with the wieners?
I don't know, man. What do you got? I don't.
Why? Like, why? It's so unnecessary. It's so even in this, like, okay, I'm starting to beat Red. He does not want to talk about this subject, but I'm talking about this subject. We are 1000% doing it. What, like, Red Barrel? What is with the wieners?
Like in terms of what? Like, why are there so many, or like why do they look so weird? Like,
why are there so many
penises?
Why are there so many? Why do you have to put so many wieners in your games?
Well, we just talked about how messed up these games are. I feel like it's kind of on par with the game, and they just need to make it even more messed up.
That's a whole different level.
And it's funny because here you are, like, you're counting how many wieners are on the screen, and I have no idea. Like, I didn't even think about that as an aspect of the game. And Dave's over here. 1 penis, 2 penis, 3 penis, 4.
Listen. Your stream audience is much kinder and gentler than my stream audience.
That's true. I probably would have saw, like, oh no, don't look.
Yeah, you would be like, oh no, don't look. My stream audience is just cracking wiener joke after wiener joke every single time they show up on the screen. And again, even in the trailer for number 3, they got wieners in the trailer, dude. Like,
I don't know, man. I didn't notice too many penises, but apparently you... Whatever, who cares? Like you said, dude, it's on par for what kind of games they make, so they're totally messed up.
Do you know how many penises is too many penises to have in a game?
I'm guessing you're
gonna... One penis is too many penises to have in a game. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay. Anyway,
but I do think this game is an interesting, like, idea. I think the idea is cool.
It's an interesting idea. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. It's not what the Outlast fan base wants, I don't think, and I can't speak for the whole Outlast fan base, obviously. So I think this is a game we got to come back to. We got to.
I'm definitely gonna play this one. Kind of review it, kind of give it a good chance. I think this is a game that I'm definitely gonna play for a while, and
it's a game I'm gonna watch you play, and then
come on. You're gonna play it too. We're gonna play together.
Right. We'll play together. We'll play together, and we will come back with our full review of this game.
And Dave will count every single penis he sees in the game.
Every single one. I'm gonna throw. What's the over under on penises in
I don't know,
first
like
week?
10. I don't know.
10. Yeah, but the over under on penises at 10.
Okay.
Too many.
All right, let's move on. I'm tired of talking about penises.
All right. Next up, my dudes, the Boogeyman. I'm super excited. Okay, this movie I'm super excited about.
All right.
I know Adam. So Adam is not the biggest horror movie guy, but I actually really, really, really love this story. So this story is from Stephen King, and it's an adaptation from a short story that he wrote in a collection of short stories called The Night Shift that came out in 1978. And my mom was a really, really big Stephen King fan, so she had all of these books, and I remember reading like a lot, which now that I look back on
I thought you
it,
were gonna
seems
say
kind
that
of
she
messed
read them
up.
to you at night for bedtime, like tucking you
No.
in. All right,
No.
let's
I-
read it while we go to bed, and that's kind
all
of what
right.
shaped you into the weirdo you are now. I'm just kidding.
Time for bed. And then the guy went to the pet cemetery and buried his wife. But yeah, I remember reading all these books when I was a kid. Which honestly, yeah, does seem kind of screwed up now. But yeah, I'm super excited for this. And the producer Sean Levy is one of the producers on Stranger Things, which you guys know.
Yeah, I
love
saw that. That's
Stranger
just
Things.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be really, really cool. You guys know maybe Stranger Things is not your cup of tea, but as a general kind of consensus, it's been kind of a home run.
Yeah.
Obviously it's been kind of a home run. So
Right.
I'm excited to have him working on the project. The thing about this movie, it is a little bit different. So if you have read this short story, it's not a perfect adaptation. In the actual book, the viewpoint is from a guy named Lester Billings, and basically it's a man who's seeing a psychiatrist after his 3 children were sadly murdered, and he believes that it's in part due to the boogeyman. This, on the other hand, is going to be told from the story of a younger girl and her sister.
Yep.
So that will be changing the viewpoint, but the story itself isn't going to really change dramatically. It's just a different viewpoint. Like,
Yeah.
Billings is still in the movie, so you will be seeing a lot of things that you're expecting from the book. Do you have the trailer? We can pull up
I
the
do.
trailer.
Yep.
Yeah, let's pull up the trailer because I think that'll help. And I'm really excited for this movie. I think it's going to be a good movie, especially because, it's a very simple idea. Right? So it's not like a very complex storyline. It's not a very like complex kind of thing. Basically, the boogeyman is a story like that's as old as time, right? People have been
Right.
telling the boogeyman story for forever.
Right.
And I think sometimes the very simple kind of things are oftentimes the scariest. And if you look at the trailer, so what you're seeing right now is basically the boogeyman. It's like this entity that comes for your kids, which is a super scary, like, just thought, just out of nowhere. And the way that it works is it comes with darkness. So anytime there's light, it's afraid of the light. It stays away from the light. And you're seeing right now that they're kind of doing this test, right? So it's like you can see how uncomfortable this kid is getting.
Yeah.
Every time it goes dark, and see like like lurking in the
Yeah.
shadows right there. That's so scary, right? That's like,
Yeah.
But it's like a different type of scary. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's not like a jumpy scary. Like how Outlast would be. Like when you guys saw the clips of us during Outlast. This is just like a very like
gut wrenching, like it's coming at
Yes.
you, scary.
It's a very suspenseful kind of scare. Like,
Yep.
ooh, look at that.
And then
Like,
just imagine like being this little girl and like
Oh my
trying
God.
to tell the story that you're seeing this thing, and everybody's like, "No, you're lying. Like you're faking. You have no idea what you're talking about. Like it's not real. Like go to bed."
yes. Yeah.
Like this spot
then-
here.
Oh, dude. Okay. And then, yeah, ready. Okay. Okay. Yep. So there are obviously going to be a few jump scares. So that's Billings right there. That dude is Billings right there. He's talking to the psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist, I believe, it's hinted at, but I'm not 100% sure. So the psychiatrist is actually these kids' dad. So that's where that's where it's all kind of coming together. So in the short story, this was not the play. So Billings is talking to the father, that's the psychiatrist, and his kids are starting to have these like interactions with the boogeyman.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
So that's why it's more of an intricate plot. But I do think this movie is gonna be really, really good. Do you
I
think
think definitely better than the 1980s version
definitely
of the Boogeyman.
yes, definitely better than the 1980s version. So guys, just a little special treat. Adam, can we pull up this trailer?
Yep.
We went back to the vault. We went and dug up this 1980s trailer. Oh boy, it is. It is something. It is something.
Night and day difference compared to the CGI what we can have today versus this.
Right? Okay, this is the 1980s trailer. This is my favorite part. Listen. This is my favorite part.
And did terrible things to their mommy.
Right there. Right there. That's my favorite part right there. And it does bad things to their mommies, which is the funniest thing in the world. Like, I don't understand why anybody thought that was a good thing to put in the trailer. This is
It's
also,
the 80s,
you guys
man. What do you expect?
This is before that one guy had a monopoly on doing every single movie trailer. You remember that guy in the 90s? With the he had like the
the voice.
distinct
Yeah.
the movie trailer voice.
Yeah.
Oh god, look at how, oh my god, it's so funny, dude.
I think the best one is where they're in the car and like the guy gets like this part right here. This one's the
Yeah,
funniest
this part right here.
Yeah, they're like, and then they start like she like kissing him and like
Yeah.
And you.
Like why
How
would
would
you
that
kiss the
happen?
screwdriver? That makes zero sense. I love that their CGI is also just like the best thing that they could have come up with just flashing a flashlight on and off, and like
Right.
that was supposed to be the CGI. You see that at the bottom of the boot. So
Yeah.
hilarious. And then anytime they want to do anything scary, they just make the lighting red. You're just like,
Yeah.
come on, bro, come on.
Oh,
But
man.
look at that CGI. Yep,
They
obligatory.
probably have a
this is the
string on her.
Yep, that's the obligatory nudity that's mandatory in all 80s horror movies.
Yep.
Like look at
Yep.
that. Look at that flashlight. The flashlight spraying. That's hilarious. Oh god. Okay. So yeah.
That was so funny.
It's undoubtedly going to be better than that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like
so
scary
I'm super
movies.
excited for it. What do you think? You think it's going to be good?
I'm gonna go see it. As it's a movie like of a story that, like you grow up hearing like, oh, the boogeyman's gonna get you, or close your closet door because the boogeyman's under there. Or, like you run in
Yeah.
your mom and dad's room screaming because there's something under the bed and it's the boogeyman.
Right?
But
it's
here's
a
the
tale
thing,
as
like,
old as
my-
time.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But my thing with scary movies, I think another hot take from me today. I think they're boring.
What?
Not so, like okay. Let me go back. Sorry, I don't think scary movies are
You
boring.
you have
Hold on.
I
I think, like-
just want you to be ready for this. I want you to be ready for this before you say anything. The
Mhm.
horror fan base is a very dedicated crowd. So I just want you to know that you're throwing yourselves to the you're throwing yourself
Maybe
to the
I'll,
wolves
okay.
right now.
Let me take a step back. I
Okay.
think some of the suspense in a scary movie is kind of boring. I will say, a lot of scary movies or horror movies have good plot lines. I think a lot of them
Okay.
do. But sometimes
Okay.
when they try to be over the top scary, it almost comes off like they're trying too hard.
Define over the top scary.
I can't think of like
What's
okay,
a good
Paranormal Activity.
example?
Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
Do you ever
So,
watch those?
What? Yeah, of course. What didn't you like about Paranormal Activity?
I just thought they were like over the top, trying to scare you at every single scene. You know what I mean?
I mean, I would argue that that's kind of what people want, though.
Yeah, I guess. But like, I feel like there's
Don't you
a
think?
good way to do it and a bad way to do it. And I think Paranormal Activity did it in a bad way.
Like just too much in your face.
I don't know. I think like I felt like that one specifically. Like, well, granted, I don't think they were very good movies in general. Like Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
Like I don't think obviously they weren't the best horror movies out there.
Yeah.
Especially because they made
I
like
think
15 of them
may-
or however many they made.
I think maybe you're kind of leaning towards not like a true horror genre, like a Friday the 13th or a Nightmare on Elm Street, but maybe
Yeah.
you're more into like a thriller kind
Okay.
of horror, like a Cape Fear or something like that,
Yeah.
where it's not so like it's not so like in your face jump scare grotesque gore as it is like suspense with a great storyline.
Yeah, and I think that's okay. That's why I want to take a step back, because there are really good horror movies with good plot lines, kind of like you said, the Boogeyman, the A Tale of Time, like this oldest
Yeah.
time, and like you could tell the gut wrenching like the intricacies of like this girl wants people just to believe her that this Boogeyman's there, and like so
Yeah.
she's experiencing all this, and like nobody's listening to her, and even her sister, until she experiences it. Like I can like that's like a cool storyline.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm recanting what I said.
Have you seen
But-
The Conjuring?
I have not.
You should watch The Conjuring.
Is it like a good plot, or is it just scary on scary?
It's
Both.
both. It's
Okay.
both. So I think that's a good representation, and I think, guys, let me know. Let us know in the comments if you guys also agree here, because I really think The Conjuring did it very, very well. Where it is a movie with a plot, with a great storyline that is terrifying, but terrifying in a sense of like there are your classic horror movie jump scare spots. And then there's also a terrifying aspect of it where it's just an eerie suspense feeling that just like you're kind of scared throughout the whole movie, but there's levels of fear, right? So
Okay.
you're watching it and you're invested in the storyline and you kind of have this like tension and suspense, and then there's those moments of like ramped up jump scares. So I think
Right.
you might actually like those movies.
Okay,
Give The
I'm gonna give them a
Conjuring
shot. I will say it's hard for me to watch those kind of movies, especially because my wife is like 100% no horror movies. Like she will not
Yeah.
watch them no matter what I do, what I say. And then having
Yeah.
a 2-year-old, you don't want a 2-year-old watching the Boogeyman where he has no idea what the Boogeyman is right now. So I put that fear into him. He'll never sleep in his
No.
own bed. So,
No.
but I'm definitely gonna go see it. I'll see it in theaters, like I do, like all the movies I want to see. But yeah, I'm probably not as excited as you, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Like I need to give these some more horror in my life. No,
Yeah.
it's not always daisies.
Yeah, I mean it's fun to be scared every once in a
Yeah,
while. It's a
it
good
is.
time.
It is.
I will be going to see this movie. I am excited for it. And the one thing that I will say, because I can't just be super excited 100% of the way through. That's not my style.
Mhm.
Is that I hope that the ending doesn't suck. Because here is my hot take of the day.
Okay.
Stephen King is an amazing writer. He is an amazing plot developer. He's amazing at character design. The dude cannot close for shit. His endings are awful. Like, absolutely terrible. And I don't understand how you could be so good at 90% of the writing process and be so terrible at closing your stories out. And I know this is a hot take. And I'll say this. I believe this about other very highly regarded authors. I believe this about H.P. Lovecraft, who people absolutely love in the horror genre. The dude can't close worth a shit either. It's like you build this amazing story, amazing plot line of amazing characters that I'm invested in, and then you close it out with just a huge steaming turd. And I'm just like, dude,
like, okay, in what sense? Or like they?
Okay.
So I don't read books, so put that out there. So did they just kill everybody off? Like, isn't that?
Here are some beautiful examples, because I knew that you were going to ask me this
Yeah.
question. And I have gone back and picked 5 examples of Stephen King stories that I love that are amazing with the worst endings possible. Starting with number 1, have you seen It?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, you've seen It.
Yep.
Pennywise is probably one of the greatest horror movie villains ever created. The idea of clowns is terrifying. The way that he interacts with the victims, the way that he brings that eerie feel through the entire movie, absolutely amazing. The kid's storyline, you're invested. How does that movie end?
I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a while.
He becomes a giant spider.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Number 1, he becomes a giant clown spider, and he is defeated. Do you know how he is defeated? Do you remember this?
No, I don't. It's been so long. I saw the old Penny, like the old It, not the new movie.
The one with Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Another hot take. Tim Curry is the best Pennywise.
Okay.
This new Pennywise is great, but Tim Curry is undefeated.
Okay.
But anyway, how this story ends, how do you defeat it? The kids lose their fear of it and start bullying it. And that makes it lose its power because
So that makes it like they're like making fun of him.
they're like making fun of it, and like it's like this entire movie is a two movie 4 hour like anti-bullying campaign. Like it's like, dude, are you kidding me? That's how you decide to end your movie?
That's bad.
Like
that's bad.
This all powerful, it can stare at you and kill you being, and you're just like, you're a loser, and it's like, oh no, like
You're
that's
not
the end.
scared of me anymore.
Oh no, you're not scared of me anymore. It's just like, dude, what a terrible ending. Okay, so number one. Number two, The Stand. Have you ever heard? Have
Nope,
you ever
haven't
seen
heard of
The
that one.
Stand? No. Okay. And the end of The Stand. And do we have the spoiler button? Because these are obviously gonna all be spoilers. These will all be spoilers. In the end of The Stand, a literal hand of God comes out of the sky and sets off a nuclear bomb. That's how that movie ends. That's how that story ends. It's a terrible ending. Number three, The Dreamcatcher. The main character just sacrifices himself for the greater good.
And it ends the movie.
That's it. That's the end. The main character, after all this turmoil, after all of these challenges, after all of this, the main character just sacrifices himself, which is beyond a cop out. I believe that's like, dude, that's like when you watch an entire movie and the ending is like the main character is crazy. Don't you feel just like robbed? Like you just feel like robbed of your time, like that, like such a cop out ending. Okay, the main character is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I could have came up with that.
Right.
Number four, Under the Dome. So in Under the Dome, this movie slash book, and these are all movie slash books.
Yeah.
This movie slash book is about an alien race that comes to the Earth, puts a dome over a city, and starts observing, the people within the dome, kind of like a ant farm kind of experience, kind of thing. Do you know how that movie ends?
Nope.
One person in the town just gets the brilliant idea to kindly ask the aliens to let them out.
That's all.
That's it.
That's all.
That's it. That's it.
Please let us out.
Just one person just decides, like, oh, let's go. What if we just ask them to let us out? And they go, excuse me, Mr. Alien putting us in a dome, could you please just let us out? And the alien's like, oh yeah, sorry, we didn't know that you didn't like that. Here you go, and it just lifts the dome up.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, and the final example, which is, this one gets me going even more than it, because it's I believe is a movie that's as great as it. Pet Sematary.
Okay.
Have you seen Pet
Nope,
Sematary?
haven't seen that one.
Okay. In Pet Sematary, basically what happens is they find the pet cemetery. Whatever you bury in the cemetery comes back to life, but it comes back to life very evil.
Okay.
And not good, right? So in Pet Sematary, unfortunately, this couple's young son, it starts off with an animal, right? So the family has a pet, the pet dies, they bury the pet, and they see the pet come back to life. And they're like, okay, this is a very weird thing. Unfortunately, their young child dies, and they say, let's bury him in the pet cemetery because they've seen what happened to the dog. So they bury the kid. The kid comes back to life. Obviously, the kid is totally
Demonic,
evil. The dog, demonic. The kid is totally evil. The dog is totally evil. Do you know how this movie ends?
How?
The wife dies. Do you know what do you think the husband does?
Buries
That's super
the wife.
logical. Exactly. This whole movie is about how you don't bury things in this pet cemetery, and the end of the movie is he buries his wife in the exact same pet cemetery that they have just learned throughout this entire single movie that you should not do, and the wife comes back to life and kills him. And that's the end of that movie.
That's terrible.
Terrible. So Stephen King, I love you. You're an amazing writer. you gotta work on those endings, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta. There's
Gotta
a lot
fix
of AI. There's a lot of AI tools out there
Yeah.
that can help you close now. Please, writing an ending that doesn't
please read
suck.
please read this book. Please, AI, please read this book and come up with an ending that will be a hit for everybody out there.
Yes. Please write an ending that doesn't suck. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough of my rant.
Yeah.
I am excited about this movie. I will see the movie, and I
Yep.
hope that it has a good ending. So,
Yep.
Do you know what movie wouldn't suck though?
The movie that we pick of all of our favorite, or the top 5 horror
The top
villain
5.
villain.
Yes,
People. What do you think? A draft?
top 5 horror movie villain draft. And I need to grab the coin because
Go
I'm
grab the
a
coin.
terrible host. I'm a
Terrible host.
Oh god, and I'm old. Okay. All right, we got the coin. All right, my dudes. So, what we're going to be doing here, we are going to be drafting 5 of our favorite horror movie villains.
Billions?
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 Billions. 100 billions. That's not even a real word. Okay, so the
Makes villain
concept...
sound fancy.
Yeah, the concept is all 5 of these villains will be in one movie, and we are going to be making a team that would be impossible to get away from.
Okay.
In this movie, the horror villains will win because these teams are so strong that nobody could get away with them.
Okay.
Okay, and this coin flip means everything to me.
Okay.
Because there's one character.
I think we already know who that character is. So
I think we know who that character is.
I
and
want Two-Face. Give me the Two-Face.
I know. All right. Adam's going Two-Face. I will be getting the plain side. And we did get some feedback, guys. I appreciate the feedback on letting me know that my coin flipping is getting much better. Much better.
It did, especially last episode. The double flip.
Okay. Yeah, but now I can't blow it. So there's a lot of pressure riding on my shoulders right now. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's solid. 3 in a
Dude,
row.
I'm getting so good.
Yeah.
Oh, you lucky dog. You lucky dog. If you take my pick, I'm quitting the draft.
Pennywise. Number 1 draft pick, Pennywise. Easy. You need somebody to feast on people's fears.
I'm so mad right now.
Yeah,
I
knew that was gonna happen.
literally so mad right now. Okay. I also have a very special treat for you
Okay.
for this draft. I'm going to need you to close your eyes for 1 second.
1, 2, 3.
Okay,
4.
we're ready.
Ah! Is that your number 1 pick overall now?
No, this is not my number 1 pick, but I just wanted to do this as an official horror villain. Also, shout out to Ghostface. I don't know how you could like run through and chase people down wearing this mask because I can't even see my microphone.
I don't think I can
right
take
now.
you seriously either.
Can you hear me at least?
I can hear you.
Okay, as long as we can hear me. Okay, yeah, shout out to Ghostface because I can't even see my microphone. Okay, number 1 pick. For the first overall pick, I will be taking the one and only Mr. Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger, dang it.
For one reason. You can never sleep. Good
That's
luck. If this movie takes more than a day, you're screwed. I'm taking Mr. Freddy Krueger.
Okay. All right, my second overall pick, Chucky.
Pick again. I want Chucky.
Nope.
Okay, well, why are you going with Chucky? Why
Because
Chucky?
he's just like, he's the character, like he can hide in small places. He's always by, like he can find the way to always like sneak up on somebody. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he's
Okay.
always in the way.
Do you know why I wanted Chucky so bad?
Why do you want Chucky?
The soul transfusion.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Such a great ability. You could
Yeah.
kill that doll so many times, and he can just soul transfuse to another thing. Like, get
Yeah.
out of here, bro. Get out
Right.
of here.
That's
Okay.
that is true.
All right. That's 2 of my amazing picks off the board. So I'm gonna have to go a little bit further down on the list. But second overall pick, I'm gonna take Death from the Final Destination movies, and here's why.
Wait a minute.
Why-
Wait, Death itself?
Yeah.
I haven't seen those in a while. Like, there's an actual character as Death.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
It's like the Grim Reaper.
Oh,
He has a
okay,
master
okay.
plan.
All right, let's hear this. Why you're taking him?
Are you gonna null this draft again? I brought
No,
a
no, no,
mask and everything.
no. Let's hear it. Let's hear your explanation of death. He's a
Okay.
real character.
Okay. You cannot escape the master plan. I'm just saying that death puts that plan in place, you're a goner.
Okay.
You hate that. Why do you hate all my picks?
I don't hate your pick. I just feel like death is a little like, all right, whatever. He's
Do
an
you not
actual
wanna count
character
death?
in the movie. He's like you can see him kill people.
I mean, kind of.
Kind of. That's no. Come on.
Okay. All right, fine. All
Number
right,
3.
fine.
Pick somebody else.
Okay. All right, fine. We'll pick somebody else. I'm not excited about this. All right.
No, wait, hold on. I'm gonna say, I feel like Final Destination is a thriller movie more than anything.
No, that is a horror movie.
Okay, whatever. Let's hear
That's
it.
what
Let's
I'm
hear-
telling you. You would be, dude. You would love like The Conjuring because it's got that same feel. But anyway, we're getting so far off topic. Okay,
All right, third overall pick.
My-
Let's hear it.
no. I'm not gonna pick death. I'm gonna redo my second overall pick because
Okay.
I don't want this draft to be thrown to the wolves like I did some type of cheating nonsense. For my second overall pick, I am gonna take Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Gosh darn it.
Yes. Yeah, see, now you wish you let me have death. See?
Okay.
You did that to... You did that. You did that to yourself.
Okay.
Okay, he is a destructive force. He is a summoner of anything, can literally summon anything he wants from thin air. Give me Pinhead. My team is
Gosh
stacked.
dang it. I think
Yeah, see?
because I think it helps a lot that you're a big horror film like fan. So like I kind of pick some of the more basic ones as like the rest. So my third overall pick of this or like horror villains draft is Jason.
Jason!
Yeah, because he's a Freddy Krueger, Freddy Krueger versus Jason. So that's why I was trying to.
Okay.
That was the reason.
Okay. All right. I'll give you Jason. I actually had Jason on my list, and
Okay,
there's
good,
a good there's a good reason why. He has proven again and again and again and again
He's invincible.
invulnerability. He's literally invincible. You
Yeah.
can't kill that guy.
Yeah.
He's just gonna keep coming. Okay. I like that pick. I actually
Thank you.
like that pick.
Thank you.
For my third overall pick, I'm gonna go a little deep. We're going a deep cut on this third overall pick, and I'm gonna go Pazuzu from The Exorcist.
Okay.
Pazuzu from The Exorcist. Pazuzu. Have you ever seen The Exorcist?
I have not. I don't think. I've not.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. My Siri just went off. I had no idea why. Apparently, Pazuzu is something that Siri doesn't like. Okay. So have you ever seen The Exorcist?
No, I have not.
Okay, so in The Exorcist,
Yep.
Pazuzu is the demon that infects Linda Blair.
Mm-hmm.
So I now have the power of demonic possession. Let's
Okay.
go. Pazuzu, number 3.
I think you've won already, but I'm losing some of my vibe with this one. Okay, my fourth overall pick for this draft.
It's about damn time I won one.
Yeah, my fourth overall pick is I was gonna go with Leatherface.
You're going with Leatherface.
Again, I
Okay.
didn't I was trying to think of some, and so I don't know. He's got the brute force.
Okay. All right. We'll give you Leatherface. My fourth overall pick. I'm gonna combat your Jason with a little Michael Myers, and here's why.
Ooh, okay.
Another proven invulnerability. You got a guy that's just gonna keep going and going and going. I got my guy that's just gonna keep going and going and going. He's gonna put in the legwork. He's the one that's gonna chase him down. Indestructible. Give me a little Michael Myers.
All right. I like that pick. Okay, but I feel like I have a sleeper pick. I have a sleeper
Go
pick
for
for
it.
you.
Go
My
for
fifth
it.
overall pick, Jigsaw.
That's a solid pick. That's a solid pick right there. All right.
You kind of sound like
Alright.
Ghostface, to be honest.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah.
Okay, Jigsaw is a solid pick. That's a solid pick. My fifth overall pick. I'm gonna have to clear this one with you.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have to clear this and see if you relate this as a horror movie. But I would love to go with the xenomorphs from Aliens. Do you consider Aliens a horror movie?
I think so.
You think so? Okay, I think so
Wait,
as
wait,
well.
wait. Are you doing like the whole race of xenomorphs?
No, I'm just doing one. Just give me one.
Just one? Okay. Yeah, then yeah. I'll
Yeah,
give it to you.
just give me one xenomorph.
Yep,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Okay. All right. I'm rounding it off with the xenomorph.
Sounds good.
No,
I'm
no.
not even gonna fight this one, as you're the true horror film fan, and I think it shows in the characters you picked, especially because I went with yeah, take a bow, especially because I went with Leatherface and Jason. Like, come on.
I'm taking a horror movie bow, and I just want to real quick. We're gonna throw a little shout out to Ghostface. Ghostface, I love you, bro, but you just weren't.
Yeah.
You just weren't good enough to make the list. I'm sorry, but I did give you a little shout out with the mask, so
Yeah,
I'm
you did.
sorry.
You did.
I'm sorry you didn't make the list, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. It feels good to win one.
I was gonna say it feels good.
Yeah, I was on a deep decline of
No, I
losing
think
streaks.
no. We're 2-2 right now. We're 2-2. You won last week.
Yeah, I feel like
Last
we
week
can
was
easily
the
go.
ultimate quest because Austin Powers changing into somebody random and being confused. So
Austin Powers with the skills of John Wick.
Yeah.
I feel like you win. I feel
Yeah.
like you win
All
that
right.
battle.
All right.
I'm calling it 3-1 right now. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
That
good
sounds
draft.
good.
Good draft, my dude.
Good draft.
But anyway, on the topic of Leatherface, since you
Yeah.
wanted to add him to your squad, Texas Chainsaw Massacre the game.
It is a game, and it's coming out.
Let's go.
I don't think there's a true date released yet
So there's a test date on the 25th.
of
That's
May.
a close. Yeah, May 25th. That's a closed testing with an anticipated release date of August. So
Okay.
This game will be coming out this summer. And all signs are pointing to that being the true release date. We
Right.
do have the trailer. Do you want to pull
I
the
do,
trailer
yeah.
real quick? Yeah, it looks super super cool. So kind of like how we were talking about with Outlast Trials, this is actually going to be a DVD clone.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so
In a different, in a kind of different way, though. A little different, which we'll talk
Yes.
about it as soon as we watch this trailer.
Yes, in a very different way. But I hate to say it, but I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, it's
Yeah.
such a weird story, and to know that it was inspired by true events.
Yeah,
kinda
that
just,
that
like,
makes it even more like intense and like
Yeah.
scary.
It does. It really does. And Leatherface, say what you will about Leatherface, he might not be the strongest villain, but I definitely think he's a villain that there's a presence. There's a presence to Leatherface when you
Yeah.
see him on the screen and you
Yeah.
see him like in the movies and stuff like that. Like, he definitely is a jaw dropper.
Right.
And the rest, you guys can see right here. Like, you see that dude hiding right there? It kind of looks like this is gonna be like that was like an ode to the generators.
Yep.
Like these kind of look like your DVD, kind of like, jumping over
Mechanics,
the boards
yep.
and stuff. Yeah, same kind
Yeah.
of mechanics. I think this is gonna be good, man. I think this is gonna be good. This is from the same developers that did Friday the 13th, and obviously everybody kind of knows that Friday the 13th flopped. But I feel like a lot of that had to do with the licensing issues. Didn't they run into problems on Friday the 13th with
I'm
licensing?
not too sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
But-
I think they kind of didn't have the rights to Friday the 13th.
Gotcha.
Why it
Okay.
got pulled, but I do think this one's gonna be good.
Yeah, and it's so obviously it takes place in 1974 in the same like house of the movies. But the biggest change from Dead by Daylight and this Texas Chainsaw Massacre game is it's not 4v1, it's actually 4v3. And that's kind of why you saw the
Correct.
different characters in there. So it's the family of Leatherface as well. Do you know their names?
Yeah. So you're gonna have 5 different characters that you can play as. And like Adam said, it's gonna be a 4v3. So there will be 3, villains on a
Yep.
team. There'll be 4 survivors on a team. So you're gonna load in with 7 people. Unfortunately, some people aren't gonna like this, but if you do play as the villain team, one person on your team must load in as Leatherface. That's kind of what I've been seeing all the way through. Is there does have to be one person loaded as Leatherface. However, you can't pick the same character twice, right? So
Right.
you're not gonna have to go into a match against 3 Leatherfaces
Yeah.
because that's just gonna be like total insanity. But on the villain side, you can either be Leatherface, and he's going to be like a very like robust. He's going to deal a lot of damage. You can either be Sissy, who is going to be very much like a kind of stealth in the shadows type of killer.
Yep.
And she can like go through and like poison different things and
Yep.
stuff like that. You're gonna have Johnny, who is gonna be the tracker. So Johnny is gonna be
He's
able
like the
to...
cook, right? He can have like
No.
cure. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, he's a different character. So,
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Johnny is gonna have tracking abilities, so he's gonna be able to see the survivor's footsteps. He's also gonna be like kind of like the speed guy.
Okay.
So like endurance and speed is gonna be super high. So if you're into just like straight up chasing, not so
Yep.
much just kind of leaving traps or like trying to sneak up on people, if you're literally just trying to chase after them, Johnny's gonna be your guy. You're also going to have the hitchhiker. That's going to be the fourth character. And the hitchhiker is a lot like, if you compare it to DBD, like the trapper. So you're going to be able to leave traps like bear claws and stuff like that. And the final one is the cook, the one that you were talking about. And he's going to have like very integral, like good hearing. So he's going to be notified of where the survivors are like all times. And also he has the ability to place locks on doors and stuff like that. So a lot like DBD, these villains are going to have their own different perks. The survivors are also going to have their different perks.
Yep.
And I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I honestly like, and so the big premise with this game is, so you start off in the basement, and obviously your goal is to escape the basement and then ultimately escape the house and kind of leave the area. So that's kind of the premise of the game, kind of similar to the Dead by Daylight, where you have to get out of the area, you have to complete some tasks to get out of the basement and stuff like that. But like David said, it's cool that they're gonna have like different skill trees for each side of the villains and the victim. So I think that's really cool. And honestly, dude, the animations are brutal.
They're
like
brutal.
some of the animations that they have, like especially the one where he like flips the victim around and like slices their throat. Dude, I was not expecting that from a trailer, but
or the Leatherface with the chainsaw,
yes,
where he
go right in the
gets
stomach.
her
Yeah.
and, like literally kind of lifts her up a little bit with the chainsaw. Like brutal.
So one thing I want to say about the chainsaw. So there's a specific way you have to rev the engine of the chainsaw.
Yes.
So if you under rev it, like it do some damage. If you over rev it, it like stalls the chainsaw, and you get a perfect rev, and it's an insta kill. Like, so that's really cool. I think that's kind of a cool mechanic of chain. I don't know if that was similar to Dead by Daylight, but I think that was really cool that they were having that as a part of his like weapon.
Yeah, no, it should be really good, and you know, like I don't think they're hiding it. Like Gun's not hiding it at all. It literally is like a DBD clone, and I think it's going to do very well because Texas Chainsaw has a cult following. I mean, people love it. The movies have been remade. People know the characters, and yeah, I just like I'm super excited for this. I haven't been super excited. So I played DBD for a really long time, and then I kind of fell off of it, and now it's kind of like reignited that spark of like now I'm kind of excited to have this game come back out and get back into the DBD, because like DBD was dope, and then they started introducing all of these like well-known characters. Like they brought in Michael Myers, they brought in Ghostface, and like playing with a character that you know from a franchise like was super fun. Like I loved playing as, you know, I love playing as Michael. I love playing as Ghostface. Like it was super sweet. And then so just to have this, you know, be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think it's going to be really, really good. There's one mechanic though that I'm not really like super I'm not super sure of, and I don't know if you found any information about it, but have you seen this like blood feed for Grandpa? Did you read anything
that's weird.
on
Like
that?
I saw that. Like, so the villains have to give Grandpa the blood to like increase their like knowledge or like their intensity against the victims, or I don't know the proper like the technical term, but that's so strange.
Yeah.
So like it's so random. I don't think they needed it.
In the movie, Grandpa's a character.
Yeah.
But like is this like an insta kill? Like if you get so much if you get so much blood to Grandpa,
I think it's enhancements. I think it's enhancements of like their abilities. Yeah.
Okay, so it just makes them stronger and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think so. And like I said, each side's gonna have skill trees and like perks and stuff. But yeah, I think that is such a weird mechanic. I feel like it's like you said, he is a character in the game. He's not gonna be a playable character in the game, but you have to like interact with him to make your villains more like intent or like more enhanced. So
Yeah.
I thought that is weird.
Yeah. So I'm not super, I don't want to throw anything out there because I did as much kind of research as I possibly could to figure out this mechanic, and honestly, there's just nothing really out there that I could find at least, but it is going to be part of the game. Hopefully it's not like an insta kill or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah,
Make it
I'm
OP.
super excited. I'm super excited for this game. There is going to be a form of crossplay, so PC players, a lot like Fall Guys and stuff like that. PC players can jump in with console players and stuff like that. Here's my thing. you knew
to crap on the parade.
You knew it was coming, right?
Yep,
Right.
yep.
You knew it was coming. Have you played DVD or anything like that? Okay.
Yeah, probably not as much as you, but I've jumped in for a few rounds and like played different characters and whatnot. But
How do you feel about this aspect of like tunneling and farming and
man. Talking
How
about
do you feel?
the toxicity of Dead by Daylight.
How do you feel about it?
I will say I didn't play it enough to experience the tunneling and like a lot of this toxicity of the game. Most because I was just really bad at the game, so I feel like I couldn't say like, oh, he was tunneling me. It's mostly like, no, Adam, you suck at the game. Like, they're not tunneling you. You kept running into him, so you're tunneling the villain because you don't know what you're doing, kind of vibe.
Yeah. I'm actually on the other side of this coin, which is very, very interesting for most people.
Yeah.
I don't agree with this. Like, people that are saying that people that play the killer and actually try to win are like, they get this label of like quote unquote tryhards or like not cool killers and stuff like that. And I'm just like, dude, this is the point of the game. Like, if you get to a point where the killer is no longer like trying to kill you and he's literally just like DBD was never as boring as like when a killer would just come up to me and like he would want me to like do the generator for a second and then he would kick the generator and then I would do the generator for a second again.
For like the experience points and stuff like that.
Yes, they're just farming for the like that gets so boring to me so quick, and I just like I hate to say it, but I kind of hate that the community gets around this. Like anybody that actually tries to win as the killers is like an asshole. It's like, you're not, dude. That's like, you're trying to win the game. Like,
right.
We're not on the same team, bro. I'm not supposed to just like hit you one time and then watch you crawl away. Like you're getting iced. Like that's
you're getting put on the hook.
You're getting put on the hook, dude. That's how you play the game.
Yeah.
So
I feel it.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully the community kind of keeps it going.
Yeah, I wonder my one thing I was wondering about. So there's 7 characters in one house. How big is this house?
So from what I was seeing, the house is not just the house. There is but you
have to start in the house in the basement.
Yeah, you have to start in the basement, and then you have to make it all the way through the house, and then you have to make it through the outside as well. So I'm thinking, from what I've seen, and people might not actually like this, all of the survivors are going to start in the basement, and like I said, you have to have a Leatherface, and Leatherface will always start in the basement, and that's kind of like the way that the movie was, right? Okay. So Leatherface's domain was in the basement, and these people would have to escape the basement, escape Leatherface, make it through the first level of the house, and then also make it outside and run away. And I think basically what they're going to do is, because there's 3 sections, basement, house, outside, and there's 3 killers, they're going to have one start in each spot, right? So Leatherface will always start in the basement. You'll have a killer start first level of the house. You'll have a killer start outside. And you're going to have to kind of, as a survivor, make your way through.
Right. Okay.
That's what I mean, I think it's going to be good. And they did promise that it's not going to feel heavily weighted one side. Like it's not going to feel like it's impossible to win as the survivors.
And I'm sure it's going to be pretty balanced, or it probably won't. It might be like OP on one end or the other, but I feel like a game like this, they're going to balance it as soon as they find those kind of deals. Like OP-ness of a game. So
Yeah. Yeah, be on the lookout for week 1, week 2 patches
Yeah.
where they
Yeah,
start
right.
they start nerfing a character and everybody gets all pissed off. But
Yeah, they
yeah,
nerfed the Grandpa Blood.
right.
Yeah, he's getting too much blood. Give him a
He's
drop
getting
instead.
too much blood.
Yeah.
Grandpa now needs his warm milk.
Yeah, give him some milk and cookies and tuck him in at night.
But yeah, should be a good game. The playtest on May 25th, with a release date sometime in August. I think
Hopefully
DVD
August, yeah.
players, yeah, hopefully August. I do think DVD players are gonna jump over and give this one a shot, and I'm gonna give it a shot too. So,
Yeah, I think you have
good
to.
stuff.
Same thing,
Yeah.
man. I'm gonna give it a shot too.
Yeah,
There's so
we'll
many
give it a
good
shot.
games coming out. So
Dude, there's so many good games
Yeah.
coming out.
or
Yeah.
should be good games.
Should be
Yeah.
good games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not so much on the movie front though.
Oh, here we're gonna crap on the parade with this. So we're gonna dive into this like haunted mansion. So a little lighter on the spooky side, I think.
Yeah, a
although
little lighter.
I will say it looks darker than well, obviously Eddie Murphy was in the first one.
Yeah, the 2003 Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy one.
It's definitely gonna be darker than the 2003 Eddie Murphy version of this movie / ride. And
Yeah.
so the plot is like Gabby was the main character and her son buy this house, this mansion, I believe.
Yes.
And they are trying to exorcise the ghosts that are living in the house. They hire a tour guide, a priest, a psychic, a historian to try to exorcise these ghosts. And it's supposed to be heavily based off the ride.
Yes. I'm excited for the movie.
You are? Oh, okay. I thought you were
did
gonna
not
crap
see
on it.
You did
Dude,
not see that coming.
You
did
tricked
not
me.
see that coming.
You tricked me. The
Yeah.
way you kind of is like one thing I'm not. Okay. It
There's
does look
not a-
fun.
There's not a lot of good movies coming out, but this one I think is going to be a good one.
Okay.
Do we have the trailer? Let's pull
I
up the
do.
trailer. Yeah, there's a couple things in the trailer that I think are going to help, but I do want to speak a little bit on the fact that, like you said, this looks a bit dark for a Disney movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
I
guys
think
can see right
It's
here.
got to have some lighter aspects of the movie. It's Disney. I can't imagine
There's-
they're gonna like.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a good mix of comedy and spookiness, but I mean, you guys can see if you're if you're watching the video cast, or you're watching the video cast on Spotify. Like look at that monster. Like look at
Yeah.
that ghost. That is not a ghost that you would typically see in a Disney movie. You just
Right.
wouldn't.
I will say though the cast is a little bit lighter cast. You know what I mean? Like Danny DeVito, Owen Wilson. Like though you don't think of them as horror film characters
Right.
or like actors.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a jump scare Disney movie. I don't think it's gonna have like true horror like feel to it. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think it's gonna be gore. That
Yeah.
it's not gonna be on the side of gore, but it is gonna be, like I think a very this is a PG-13 movie. Like as a
Right.
Disney movie, it's a PG-13 movie, which is like kind of unheard of.
Right.
Yeah, it's.
And I think it's gonna have
super
those
weird.
jump scares. It's going to. I think it's gonna hit the boxes for the people that are really into the ride of Haunted Mansion. They want to see it kind of in the movie because I don't know about you, but I watched the Haunted Mansion movie growing up a bunch of times, but
Yeah.
it is not that good of a movie, like
It's not.
whatsoever.
No, it's
So,
not. Yeah, the
I think this is gonna
2003
kind of hit the
with-
box for everybody.
2003 with Eddie Murphy. I mean, he did what he could. He did what
Yeah.
he could. He did what he could, but it just wasn't that
Especially
good.
with his whole acting career in general.
Yeah.
The movies he
Um,
picks. You remember, like, do you ever watch an Orbit?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. He played every single character. That was a funny movie, but
Hot take: Eddie Murphy hasn't been good since The Nutty Professor. But we're going
let's
way
stick
off
to our
topic.
movie. Let's stick
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Haunted Mansion.
Okay. I do have a thing about this though. So,
Mhm.
and you could prove me wrong, but like you said, this is going to be a much more darker movie. It's a PG-13 movie, and I think, is it time to say that Disney isn't for kids anymore?
I don't want to say it's not for kids. I think it's expanded to more of an audience. You know what I mean? Because they still make those PG animated films. They're still releasing a bunch of Disney Plus things for kids. I think they're expanding into a bigger audience, especially when they're buying all these rights to different organizations and like, you know what I mean, like different platforms. I think that's where, like, you know, they bought Star Wars, they own Marvel, they got Deadpool now. I think they're just trying to expand their reach into different franchises, and and with that comes is like they want to expand the audience in terms of like age too.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm honestly, you know, like all the things that you just mentioned, I'm kind of at the spot where it's like Disney might not actually be for kids anymore, and I think like I think what really kind of solidified that is like what you said with them acquiring Deadpool, of
Yeah.
like that is like the furthest, like you would never let a kid watch Deadpool, like you
Right.
would never let a kid watch Deadpool. And I
Right.
think, you know, like, you know, we're seeing it as a generation that's growing up, right? So
Yep.
you know, the kids that were, you know, like when I was a kid, I loved watching like the Jungle Book and stuff like that.
Right.
And now I'm like kind of aging along, you know, along the process. And I feel like Disney is kind of aging along with me and like
Yeah.
kind of just keeping me along this ride. And like,
Right.
it's kind of cool. Like it's cool that they're kind of going a different route, I think. But yeah, my dudes, awesome episode, dude.
Yeah, I
Awesome
agree. That's
episode.
fun.
Yeah, that's
Spooky.
this is I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this. Thank you for so much for the likes and all the support and just we can't say thank you enough. It really does
Yeah.
mean the world. And super glad you guys like the show. Adam, you got anything for him?
Well, you know, if you're not following us on all social media platforms, make sure to do so. Let's Talk Nerdy Podcast, and let us know in the comments below. What are you most excited about? And yeah, what do you got for them?
Yeah, just last thing. The YouTube. I want to throw this back out here. We need 100 subscribers on the YouTube, and we will see a picture of Adam with no eyebrows. Please, please, please make it happen for me, people. I love you guys very, very much, and we will see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace out, nerds!